Good morning. We are on number 16 and on chapter 10. I'm a little bit too chipper for what this means. We're going to be talking about healing trauma today. I already did tomorrow's video this morning, and I was so excited coming off of that. I'm going to tell you all a story tomorrow, basically. But today, we're going to talk about how trauma can affect you with losing weight and being healthy. Okay. Now, Jesus said in Matthew 22:37, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind." Pretty reasonable. But what if your heart is broken? He said all your heart. So if he said all your heart, perhaps it's possible to have a piece that doesn't love him. And how that happens is typically through trauma. So let me give you the unhealed trauma quote by Peter Horobin in the book on page 53. So often when a person is suffering physically, people only pray for the healing of the body. But when the condition has origins which are related to traumatic events, then it is important to pray for the broken heart, not just for the broken body. The body cannot be fully healed while it is still reflecting the inner pain of unhealed trauma. So let's say that you are in this is one of the analogies that I really like to say. You're in a car accident, heaven forbid, and you hit somebody and you're worried that they're going to be damaged. They're okay, but you're shaken and you come out of the car. The person you're riding with breaks a leg, something like that. Okay, who went through this accident? Your skin, your legs, your arms, just your body? No, all of you, your soul, your mind, your spirit, everything went through this accident. Well, what we do is go to the hospital, make sure that we're okay. But what about the trauma of the guilt of causing someone else pain? Sometimes they'll relive that in dreams and that kind of thing, and those emotions don't get taken care of. And oftentimes that's where spiritual sabotage can come in. Now, I really don't want you to have to go through all the trauma of your past. We don't want to have to look into the history unnecessarily. But if there's a key locked in there, we'll ask the Lord to help you with that. Okay. So a lot of times people have found the reason that they eat is linked back to an incident in their childhood where there was no food, or an incident where they were made fun of. So we don't want to regurgitate everything, but we do want to ask the Lord if there is a key stuck in that past somewhere. So on the worksheet, on this trauma worksheet, now again, pray about this. If you have PTSD, you may not want to do this alone. You may not want to do it like this at all. But pray about it and see about the Lord having you do this. And it basically has you write down the trauma, the age, anyone involved, any notable changes in behavior. I'm going to tell you tomorrow that changes in my body happened after I miscarried. And then memory triggers. So a memory trigger is like when something happens, suddenly you want to eat, or you don't want to eat, or you want to starve yourself, or you want to overindulge. If suddenly you're fearful, suddenly you're afraid of people leaving you, that's a trigger. If you look at a yellow candy wrapper and suddenly you're back in a moment, that candy wrapper is actually a signal saying that this trauma is still alive and needs to be healed. How we process trauma is we ask the Lord to come into that trauma, come into that memory and heal it. Forgive anyone, forgive ourselves, forgive other people. Ask the Lord to sever us from that moment and heal it. And He often does some of the best miracles in healing the trauma. Now, if you have PTSD, what I'm going to recommend is you don't write down all of those traumas, but that you just ask the Lord to come in as a whole. If you are already experiencing flashbacks, I would ask the Lord to come into the flashback. Show me where you're at. I forgive the people that are involved in this, but come into this and don't make yourself relive that or go through it. Now, if you're with a professional or in ministry with someone who's experienced, you may want to confess those things, but not always. That's not necessary. Holy Spirit always knows what you need. And so you can pray to him, go where he says to go. And this may help you get more of that root out so that you can do big things with your health. Have a great day. I know that I'm going to have one.